like so many others all around the world, are increasingly facing the pressure brought on by climate change and fossil fuels. Some among us are losing their entire livelihood and culture. Ecosystems and lifeways that have endured for literally thousands of years. Proposal exists to ship 48 million tons of coal every year through our homes and waterways. 4 more to accept hundreds of thousands of barrels of oil moving by rail, tanker, and by pipeline. Over the last year and in the last 2 centuries, we've learned all too well the dangers these projects pose, the catastrophe that is them combined. In the last July in Quebec, an oil train exploded and leveled 4 city blocks. 47 men, women, and children lost their lives that day. Since then, there have been at least 3 major accidents, oil train explosions across the country. As the trains have increased, so do the disasters and spills. The first of these trains passed through Bellingham on Christmas Eve, and I shudder to imagine how many more are coming. It cannot continue because it is unjust, and it will not continue because it is unsustainable.
The majority of the known fossil fuel reserves in the earth need to stay in the ground if we are to have any hope of maintaining a hospitable climate for humanity and all other ecosystems. We know that. And yet, the most profitable corporations in the history of capitalism are spending billions of dollars every year exploring for more reserves in the depths of the ocean and in shale formations and all the hard to get places. They're looking for more, even though they have 5 times more already claimed and owned by them, 5 times more than it would take to set us past the point of no return of climate change. That ain't right. It's not right. It's not right.
There's communities all over the world where they're having severe droughts and being displaced and being absolutely devastated by massive storms. And we got to understand that this is life and death. If we want to have kids and grandkids, we got to really start taking a stand, and we really got to escalate our actions and commit ourselves to building social movements, to studying history, and seeing how people have successfully waged revolutions and how people have created systemic change, and commit ourselves to making that change and building that movement.
Investors say if we take money out of coal, it's just going to be one drop in the bucket. Is that going to have any effect? And I have to stand up and say, yes, it's going to have an effect, because you can put that money into something that makes a difference. And I love the fact that you are here in the frigid cold because you believe that we can do something about this. And that's what I'm talking about, that we believe we can do the right thing, and we're not going to stop until we have. And so what I believe is that we need to take the money out of fossil fuels, and we need to put it into something that is going to change the way that the world works. And that is hope.
We have, like, in just 2 years, you have 300 campuses where students have launched campaigns and said it is immoral to profit from investing in fossil fuels. And that's fucking awesome. That's great. Like, there is so much potential power there for students to take a stand. It has to be about building powerful social movements that can effectively resist the fossil fuel industry and stop it from carrying any more fossil fuel out of the ground, and build the alternative institutions that we need. It has to be about building that movement.
So when you choose to invest in fossil fuels, you are affirming that, okay, they'll succeed with their business plan, they'll burn those fuels, we'll make money off of it. When you divest, and even, we are kind of the underdogs here, but when you divest, you are choosing to say, I believe there is a chance, I believe that we can hope that maybe, they won't succeed, that we will actually find a solution, because it is possible. We do have the resources and the power and the technology to create a sustainable energy system. This is possible, and we can do that. And if that happens, then all of those assets that are the basis of the wealth of these really profitable stocks, some of them, will be stranded assets, meaning the prices will plummet, and universities, which own about $40 billion nationwide in coal, oil, and gas, will lose out. They're going to lose out. And universities who are doing all this research to tell us what's happening can be ahead of the game. they can get out while they still can, and in the process lead others to follow suit and do the same.
And it's about to be just up to the board of directors to make a decision. Where it goes to the AS and then the president and the board of directors, and they're going to say, no, we need about 6 months to make this decision. What I say we need to do in that time is we need to start demanding what we really need. We need to say you need to divest now because this is just a first step in a long road. It needs to happen now. We need action. We can't have moral compromise. We need to stand firm to our morals and demand everything that we need because we can't afford to demand anything less.
But we're going to come back here in May when the foundation board is considering this, and we've got to fill this square, and I need you to do it. So I'm asking you to find the strength, I'm asking you to find the courage within yourself to fight back, to reach out to people who've never heard what we're talking about, and to tell them why it's important.
And we're not the only ones, you know. I know there's only like tens of us out here today. But on this campus, I know that there are hundreds of students wearing the orange patch, the national symbol of solidarity for divestment. And nationwide, there are thousands of students organizing for this movement to pressure their universities to do the same. And worldwide, there are millions of people organizing for climate justice. Yeah!
Let's do it.
D, we are demanding I for new investments. B, so hear our voices. E, clean energy. S, so let's divest. G,